Hey Pitmasters, today we're going to do a holiday season special, a beautiful beef rib roast. Look at its beauty. Look at that 4 kilogram of Aberdeen Angus, Scottish beef. We're going to talk about this, but before we do that, we're going to fire up the grill. Let's put in some Commodity Big Block. We'll put in some fire starters and then light them up. Now that our barbecue is lit up, let's talk about this beautiful cut. This is 4 kilograms of Aberdeen Angus. It was born in Scotland, it was raised in Scotland, it was butchered in Scotland. You know beef ribs, right? We've been cooking a lot of beef ribs. And basically, these are not beef ribs, they're more like a row of tomahawk steaks. And they sit on the back. So basically, it looks like this on a cow. And the beef ribs, they're over here. So you got the ribs going on and then the beef ribs sit on top like a belly. We're just gonna take it out of the package and take a closer look. Whoa. You get that beefy smell right away. And look at that yellow fat that's full of flavor. And you can see straight away how tender this is. You just lay it down, it kind of falls apart already. We want to tie it up, but first we're going to clean it up a little bit. I want to take off some of that silver skin and some of the fat that's still on the bones. Look at the marbling on this beef. It's absolutely fantastic. We put some work and some love into this meat and look at how gorgeous it is right now. We clean up the bones, we clean up the meat, and it's ready to go on the grill. Now this recipe, you can easily do it in your oven as well. And we're just going to make it as easy as possible for you to have a great meal during Christmas or any other holiday that's coming up. And this size of roast is going to easily feed between 10 and 15 people.
Really?
Yeah, really. If you're into normal portions, yeah, really. Now we're going to tie this up, and when you're going to tie it up and you're going to use butcher's rope, always use twice the amount that you think you're going to need. So we're just going to go underneath, measure up the rope. I'm going to tie this up with an ordinary knot, cut off the ends, and we're going to apply butcher's rope at every bone. That will be horrible. Look at this beauty. Perfect, prepared, all ready to go on the grill, but first we got to put on some seasoning. But man, this thing just looks so good. Look in there. Look how good this looks. Oh, I can't wait for this to be done. We want to put a liberal coat of salt and a liberal coat of pepper on this roast. Because it's so big, it needs a lot of flavor, a big crust on the outside if you will. We also want to season the sides. It's just a big surface and it can do with a lot of salt. And then we'll put it in a roasting tray. By using a roasting tray, you're ensuring that the hot air is getting everywhere. And now we're going to be making a mirepoix, which basically is some celery, a few carrots and an onion. And that's the base of our sauce that we're going to be making. We'll start off with our red onion, which we're going to chop fine. Now we'll chop fine some celery and of course some carrots. Now we're going to use our oven tray, put in some olive oil. And I mean a good amount of olive oil. Put in our mirepoix. We'll put in some cloves of garlic. We're just going to leave the skin on because we're taking them out later. And I also got a bouquet garni, which consists of thyme, rosemary, sage. Just spread it out there. And then we'll put this on the grill. We're just getting a little bit of fry on our mirepoix. And I was just thinking, do you guys remember we did the beef ribs and we poured the liquor out of the butcher paper where this is smoked beef lard, and I still have some of that in the fridge. How about we put in a spoon or two in here? That will like maximize the flavor. Our vegetables turning nice and soft, and now we're going to add our rib roast. Here she comes. What a beauty. We'll close this up and roast it at a temperature of 140 degrees Celsius until it reaches a core temperature of 52 degrees Celsius. Let's check on our rib roast. Whoa, see, it looks really gorgeous. It's got nice and red, that mahogany red color that you get from that charcoal burn, that fire, that roasting. Look at that. Nice golden brown on the fat. It smells amazing. Let's check the temperature, see if she's done. That is absolutely perfection. 54 degrees Celsius. Let's take her off the grill. Look at that. What an absolute beauty. Now we'll give her a bit of a rest so all these juices can go around the meat and get to the outside of the meat where it's being kind of dry, but it's going back there if we just give it a little bit of time to relax. So while this rib roast is waiting, we're just going to put a little bit of aluminum foil on it because we're outside here. If you're doing this in your kitchen and it's warm inside, don't worry about it too much. Look at where I keep my aluminum foil these days. This is my MacGyver table. Now the next step is going to make our gravy. We got some beautiful jus, some greases from the vegetables, from the beef. Look at that, that's all good stuff. So we'll take a cast iron pan, we'll put our jus in. Look at that, basically it's fat and flavor, that's what this is. I'll put in a big tablespoon of all-purpose flour and then a splash of half decent wine. Don't use the crazy expensive stuff that you share with your friends and family. Just stuff that is good enough to drink, but you would rather cook with. Now we'll bring this to a boil and let it simmer down and become one big happy family of gravy. Look at how the color is changing and how this is becoming a really good gravy. Look at how thick it has become. That is real thick gravy.
How quick was that?
Oh, it was like, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds or so. Super quick. As you can see, my gravy is almost turning into a roux, so I definitely want to add a little bit more red wine. Let's do a quick taste test. Definitely needs more pepper and a little bit of salt. Way better, way better. We'll pour the gravy back into the jus pot. Look at how we got the leftovers from the gravy in the pan. We'll put it back on the fire. Now we'll put more beef fat in that pan. We'll let the fat melt. When the beef fat is good and hot, we're going to add pre-cooked potato dices. We'll sprinkle on some salt and of course a little bit of fresh ground pepper. So let's start carving into this beautiful roast. Like a piece of art. Look at how juicy that looks. So juicy, so tender. It is falling apart, so tender. This stuff tastes really good. Now let's try that with some gravy. Now let's give that a try. Look at that. Nice big chunk with gravy. Life get any better than this? This is some real tasty stuff. That jus, that gravy, is going so well together. Really good. Let's check to see if our potatoes are done. Definitely done. Let's take them off the grill. Do you hear that? That sounds really good. Those are the potatoes working to form a crust. This is gonna be really tasty. Crunchy potatoes. They can also do with a little bit of gravy. Brother, can we call this Christmas already? Look at this. It's definitely Christmas worst recipe, right? I love gravy. I love baked potatoes. Baked potatoes. I love baked potatoes. I love a big roast. All we're missing is a little bit of vegetable, but basically they're in gravies, right? So maybe we can get away with it? Well, if you enjoyed this video, then leave us a big thumbs up and a comment down below. I want to know what you're going to be cooking for these holiday season. This is gonna be a beautiful roast like this or something else. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that's supporting our channel, the patrons especially, and the YouTube members. And I also want to thank the people that are translating these videos. Thank you again. See you guys next time. Until then, eet smakelijk and keep on grilling.